Hi everyone, Agnes here, and I have got Marvin in the house. Hello, Marvin.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
We haven't been together for about a year, and we thought, let's do it. I've missed you, Marvin. We're going to talk today about health.
Absolutely. Who you telling? It's been way too long. I miss you too. I was just like, man, I gotta get back on here with the great Agnes Vivarelli. Agnes Vivarelli.
You say it so well. My ancestors would be proud of you.
Cook me some Italian food. Cook me some
Yeah. Well, it's funny you bring up Italian food because we decided today we're going to talk about the benefits of eating properly. And in particular, for those of you that struggle with anxiety, and we know there are many of you, we're going to talk about the benefits of eating properly, eating that to suit and help you with this particular thing that so many of you have. So Marvin, what have you come up around this particular subject that's diet related, that it has been something, if you change your diet, you can actually improve and get rid of your anxiety?
100%. And I just think that this is an area of life that I feel like so many people avoid and so many people overlook. I just feel like it's another part of the puzzle that people don't want to do the work. You know what I mean? Such as, people have this debate between, law of attraction, law of assumption. They say, oh, all you gotta do is assume. You don't have to, you don't have to raise your vibration. That's law of attraction. And it's like, yo, you just don't want to do the work. You just don't. And it's the same thing with diet, nutrition. It's like, dude, you just don't want to do the work. And I think this is an area where a lot of coaches don't realize the importance of food and nutrition, because if you go back to any of the, I don't know, aboriginals or just any of these great manifestors, you know what I mean, people with old age wisdom, people that look old age wisdom, these guys, whether they came from India, other parts of Asia, China, Japan, all of these guys, they had a strict, they ate what was grown from the earth. And it's my belief, so that's the reason why they had such great spiritual awareness and spiritual awakening, is because of that. Is because they didn't eat the processed junk. Processed food wasn't even around, you know what I mean, all of those years back when they were doing it. And so it's like, that's how you open up, your third eye and different things like that, and get more clairvoyance and clairaudience, and raise your intuition, all these sort of things, is when your diet is right. But what I've learned is when your diet is off, that's when people's ability to really think properly, to even really manifest properly, gets thrown off track, because now anxiety comes in. Well, where does anxiety come from? Is that really fight or flight? You know what I mean? Your sympathetic nervous system. How do you turn back on your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calm, relaxed state when you're not in fight or flight, which is what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about. And honestly, a lot of this stuff, like I said, from what the research I've been doing over the past few months, has shown me that it doesn't matter what kind of anxiety you have anxiety around a specific person, you have anxiety around this, you have anxiety around money, you have anxiety around a job, depression, bipolar. I mean, all of these, disorders, you know what I mean? All of these miscommunications, because I don't like using the word disease. I'll just say, not maintaining homeostasis. It all, to me, it really just comes down to diet, because once people fix their diet, like 90% of this shit goes away. Like there's no other way to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with you, because the thing is, you can't do the mental work if the body hasn't got what it needs. You have to get enough water, enough oxygen, enough sleep, and the right foods. And I think anything that's made from nature is the right foods, unless it's poisonous mushrooms or something. But you just got to eat stuff that's alive. You can't be eating dead things, processed things, and expect your body to run like a good engine. So
Mm-mm.
it's, I mean, I've shared this before. I had a tumor when I was 20, I think 28, 29. I had a torn hamstring. I had glandular fever. And then I've ended up with a fibroid. The last thing that I've had, which I'm still dissolving, I've got it down to about 20%. I had a fibroid the size of an orange. And the
Mm.
fibroid was just toxins collected in the body, and my body wasn't getting rid of it, and it grew in a particular part of the body, which was the abdomen. So um, all of those things, apart from the torn hamstring, I think all of those things I definitely cured with diet.
Right.
And the fibroid in particular, I'll talk about that one because that's the most recent one. That one was feeding off sugar and dairy and the hormones in meats.
Yep.
So I was eating a lot of meat, and then the dairy that comes from the animals that have got the hormones, the dairy's got all the hormones in it too, because the dairy's coming from the cow or the goat or the sheep or whatever, and then you're eating then products made with dairy, the cheese, the yogurt that's got the hormones in it. And then so you're getting it through the meat, and then you're getting it through the dairy products. So I had to cut all that out. And then I also had to do exercise that part of the body. I've been doing 200 sit-ups a week to get
Nice.
that part of the body moving,
Nice.
and to get the body to get rid of the toxins. And I mean, that sounds like a lot, but it's only 5 days a week. You're doing 40 sit-ups, so it's not, you're not
Right.
going, it's very kaizen. It's very small amounts over that, you do 20 and then you go and have a shower and you do another 20. It's not hard,
Right.
but all that stuff helps the body to digest properly and then to eliminate, so that the body is clear of toxins. So it is a wonderful thing to, one, identify what health issue you have, and then work out what parts of your diet are making this thing grow, whatever it is.
That, listen, what you just said was key, because everybody's body is different. Everybody's body reacts to certain foods
Mm.
differently.
Yep.
Most people don't know that they're lactose intolerant. You know what I mean? We weren't really brought up, drinking cow's milk, not supposed to really drink cow's milk. Although
Yeah.
I heard, sheep's milk and goat's milk is
It's better.
better. There was a protein, I forget what it's called, Dr. Gundry, who's very big on YouTube. He mentions a protein that is in regular cow's milk, but it's not in sheep's milk or goat's milk, and
Okay.
goat cheese, sheep's cheese, which makes that more healthier
Yeah.
for the body than regular, because there's a gene in regular cow's milk, that really disrupts your immune system and
Mm.
causes a lot of havoc, and causes leaky gut, autoimmune conditions, and
Mm.
different things like that. Because I mean, pretty much any sickness you have, whether it's like we're talking about anxiety, when you feel like you can't control your thoughts, when you can't do this, you can't. It's like it's all inflammation. It's inflammation in the body, basically. Is
Mm.
the cause of like pretty much any illness that a
Yeah.
person can develop. So once you take down the inflammation, because what happens is people have anxiety and depression because your neurons aren't firing
Mm.
properly. Your mood isn't the way it's supposed to be because the connection isn't there. So if you're constantly stressing about a specific person, or thinking that, oh, somebody's going to break into your house
Mm.
and do something to you, or all of these other weird types of scenarios, or you're worrying and you're fearful about loved ones,
Mm.
it's you probably have some sort of leaky gut, in your digestive system, where foods are leaking into your bloodstream and going to places where they shouldn't be, and neurons are firing off that are where they're not supposed to be. Just like, for
Mm.
instance, with OCD, the reason people with OCD go back and check, to see if the door is locked, 100 times before they leave the house, or they make sure that the light switch is turned off,
Mm.
100 times. The reason that happens is because your neurons aren't firing properly. So your neuron is sending the signal, and this basically comes from heavy metals, having heavy metals in your brain from eating things like fish. People have high levels of heavy metals, mercury, aluminum, different things like that, from that
Mm.
leach out into your bloodstream, and you literally have no idea. So you're like, where did this OCD come from? Where did me obsessing about my specific person come from? Well, what it is your brain is firing off neurons. And so when that neuron is going to where it's supposed to go, and it realizes the next electrical impulse isn't there, what it does is it snaps and it runs into the heavy metal. And that heavy metal basically that's in your brain, it basically blows up and resends it back to where it came from, because it knows it's not the right, connection or whatever. And then that's what causes the back and forth action. That's what causes, you know what I'm saying, the constant thinking, the constant. And so I think people really don't realize how important it is to change your diet and nutrition to get, fruits and vegetables in your system, so that the neurons in your brain, everything in your brain, electrons can actually function and go to their destination without, any problems. Because once you get rid of that, that's when the OCD will go away. That's when the bipolar will go away. That's when the depression will go away. It's all connected. And I think, like you said, this is a huge block for people with manifesting. And they don't realize, okay, I can't think clearly because I'm not eating. I can't think clearly because, like you said earlier, I'm not sleeping. I can't think clearly because I'm not, I learned about this, the 3 P's: pee, poop, perspiration. If you're not peeing, if you're not pooping, taking a shit, if you're not sweating, you're not getting toxins out of your body.
Yeah.
Pee,
Yeah.
remember the 3 P's, guys: pee, poop, perspiration. Pee, take a shit, and sweat. If you do these 3 things consistently every week, 3-4 days a week, minimum, you're getting toxins out of your body, because that's how we release toxins from the human body.
Yep. Yeah. I like that. I've never heard of the 3 Ps. You've taught me something today.
The 3 P's: pee, poop, perspiration.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, that's great. But it's true. The toxins have to come out, and if you don't, it's like you're living in a polluted system. So
100%.
yeah, I think this is good food for thought.
Well, it's something that nobody talks about, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I feel like people are so obsessed about getting a specific person back. Well, guess what? You're struggling to get your specific person back because you have anxiety, depression. Well, why do you have anxiety and depression? Because you want to eat that, you know what I mean, that bag of chips that has, all of those processed chemicals. You want to eat that, instead of having a serving of meat, you want to have 4 servings of meat a day. You know what I mean? When you should be probably having, only a few servings, maybe twice a week. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And so, I encourage people to really look, whether it's on Google, whether it's on YouTube, look at how many people were able to cure themselves of, I'm talking about chronic anxiety. I'm talking about 10 plus years of just, I can't move. You know what I mean? I can't do this, schizophrenia, all of these incurable diagnoses, when they change their diet, it all goes away.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think I've got a few on my channel where people have cured themselves of anxiety and depression, and just how they did it. And it, it is such a wonderful thing. You're not stuck with this stuff for life. You've just got to find out a way to unhook yourself from it. And I think hopefully today people will think about their diet. I met someone the other day that fully lives off Deliveroo.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I never heard of that, because like I get takeaway maybe once a month, at the most, because I love to cook. I love to get organic veggies. I love and I've got time. So obviously you've got to make time. You've got to make time to make your health a priority. But like you and I said before we started recording, if you haven't got your health, what the hell have you got? You can't go to work. You can't have a good relationship. You can't exercise. You can't do a lot of things if your health isn't good. So you must lay a good foundation to have all the other subjects you want to manifest flourish properly. You got to be able to enjoy them. And if you're bedridden or you're in chronic pain or you're having panic attacks or anxiety, you can't go into those other areas and really enjoy. So this is a really, really, really big area. And Marvin, you've mentioned a couple of people to check out. I'm going to throw in Arnold Ehret. I will find some stuff about him and put that down below. But it is very much, and also, Joe Dispenza, he talks about different bits and pieces. And there's who's the other person that's big on diet? I can't think of who I've been looking at that was really, really good, apart from Arnold Ehret. Oh, I know what it is. It's the Eat for Your Blood type books. They're excellent too. And those were the books I used for when I was trying to get rid of the fibroid and also heal the tumor. I looked at what my blood type was and see if I could eat things. Because I know there's certain things that people go, oh, this is really healthy, like cranberries. I get violent stomach pains from cranberries. I'd be buckled over like someone had punched me in the guts.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's a great little, fruit, but for me, it's horrible, so you got to look at what it is that and you will know to some degree what stuff you should avoid because you've had a bad reaction to it in the past or whatever. So it's finding a collection of really good foods. I will mention Dr. Berg because he's fantastic at talking about different diseases that you've got and what foods like iodine and different things to take for those things to actually get yourself back in balance. So I'll put a few links to Dr. Berg's channel, and Marvin, I'm sure you will too, because he's, one of our favorites for both of us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he has great material. I'm trying to think. There was another person who's really good on this stuff. Dr. Josh Axe.
Okay, I don't know him.
I can't think of. There's another guy too. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, I mean, what you were saying just now, talking about cranberries and stuff. That's everybody has to figure out like what are you tolerant about? You know what I mean? Like some people, they have histamine intolerances. Even things like spinach. You know what I'm saying? Like spinach is. Some people can't eat spinach. You know what I mean? It has high oxalates in it, and it could do some bad things to people. So, like you said, you definitely got to test and do different things, and it could take some time to figure out, like, okay, what's good for me versus what's not good for me. But the most important thing is, I think what everybody can agree on is high fruits and vegetables. Period. No matter what those fruits and vegetables may be. You got to get your system cleaned out, clean your pineal gland because your pineal gland is what connects you, you know what I mean? Basically what everybody's saying is to what connects you to the universe, what connects you to higher self. And if you're not connected to your higher self and that pineal gland is clogged, you know what I mean? Which it gets clogged from the foods that we eat. It gets fluoride. Fluoride has in toothpaste clogs your pineal gland. You know what I'm saying? Fluoride in water clogs your pineal gland. Other processed food and junk will clog your. They actually used to put the Jews back when Hitler was, just running crazy, doing all of his nonsense shit. The Germans used to actually put Jews in fluoride. In fluoride chambers, like to help mind control. Because when your pineal gland is compromised, mind control can happen a lot easier. You become less able to think on your own when you have too much fluoride in your brain and in your pineal gland. So
I didn't know that.
They used to put them in the chambers and they used to just bombard them with fluoride because once I get your brain, now I can control you. You know what I mean? And so it's little things like this that I feel like people don't think about and don't realize. And something else I want to mention, because I know all of you Neville people on Reddit talking all your bullshit, and all you other people on the internet, Facebook groups talking all your bullshit, talking about, oh, I gotta live in the end, that's all I gotta do. And you're only saying that because you don't want to do the work. You think you can eat whatever you want. You think you can live this long. Listen, Neville died of a brain aneurysm, period. I just want to say that. Neville died of a brain aneurysm. So clearly, even with all his vast, knowledge about living in the end and assuming, clearly he wasn't doing something right with his health. So I want you guys to think about that, because I know people are going to see this video. Diet has nothing to do with it. It's not about diet. All you have to do is assume. All you got to do is just live in the end. You're the creator. It doesn't. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's really. I remember thinking that about Neville too, Marvin, because I thought, we don't end up. And the other one is Jerry Hicks dying of cancer.
Yeah.
Like, let's have a good look. These people aren't perfect. They have their own issues, and there's some stuff they didn't get a chance to iron out. They're not perfect. And I think it's good to look at this stuff and go, okay, have I got the potential to damage myself health-wise? And can I do something about it today? And can I make the changes? Because, as you get older, this stuff accumulates. And as it accumulates, it gets harder to shift. So better to shift something in the early stages rather than, when it gets worse. I mean, in my case, I waited too long with the fibroid. I was still addicted and wanting to eat dairy and sugar, and that was making it grow. And then I ended up where they said, you need to get operated. Now, I said no, but I had to get to that point where it scared me to do something about it. And then obviously, started to do something about it. But it's like you got to face your own unwillingness. And look at, why am I unwilling? Because I like the taste, because I'm addicted to this or whatever. And, you can keep being addicted to stuff, and then you can smash yourself into the ground if you want, or then you end up making yourself someone else's responsibility because you end up in hospital. Or you can say, let me look up Dr. Berg or Joe Dispenza or, all these other people we've mentioned today, and actually do a bit of research. Because these days you can access the information yourself at a touch of a finger on the internet. You can.
Yes, you can.
So, and you can put in, I cured my lupus, cancer, fibroid, whatever it is that you've got, and you go into it, and you will find someone that will tell you how to do it because they did it. So that's the great thing. You'll find a whole bunch of people that have done stuff. And I think Dr. Joe Dispenza's testimonials, if you go into Dr. Joe Dispenza and you put in the disease that you've got, there'll be so many people within his circle of testimonials that have cured that. So it's a brilliant thing. And I want to mention what I mentioned to you before, because you sounded like you were interested in it, about Arnold Ehret having cured some guy of stuttering through him eating one particular type of fruit. And if I recall, it was grapes, where this guy ate grapes consistently for a short period of time over a week. And he cured this guy of stuttering. So it was even things like that. Yeah.
I still can't get over that story.
I know. It's when I read it, I went, oh my God, I wouldn't even have thought that was something that was needing curing. I would have thought it was something you had to overcome with the mind. But because you were shamed at school, and then you went into being afraid to talk, and then you ended up with a stutter. But this was totally healed with fruit.
When you told me that, I was just like, I was like blown away. Like, I'd never heard of somebody curing something like stuttering. Like you said, I thought it was like something like in the brain or whatever going on. You were ashamed, like you said. But when you said I was just like, what? Like, how does that even happen?
I know, it's profound, absolutely profound. And I know with the fibroid that I had, I cured it with a few things. I cured it with a 7-day fast where I didn't eat for 7 days, just to starve it of what it was feeding on.
Wow.
So that was the first. I did that in January 2020.
Did you just eat water?
I had herb tea. I had water. And that was it for the 7 days. And then when the seven day hit, I started introducing small plates of fruit to get my body used to eating again.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, but I lost 6.5 kilos in a week.
Yeah, you lose a lot of weight.
Yeah. For those that have got an illness or something and you want to look at intermittent fasting, Dr. Berg talks a lot about intermittent fasting to heal things. And Dr. Mindy, I can't remember her surname, but I will look it up. And she tells you what happens at each, what happens at the 6-hour mark, what happens with your body at the 12-hour mark, at the 24-hour mark, how your body starts to eat the toxins at certain hours. She's fantastic. So if you've got something that's quite serious, she's wonderful. I'll put the link down below for her. But I also, and you and I have talked about this, Marvin, about doing the eye exercises to start to correct the vision. Bad vision has a lot to do with, yes, being on screens, but also diet. Now, I went out with my friend Sally today, And I was looking at a menu that had really small print, and I've been doing eye exercises and fasting to correct my vision. And today I read this menu that there's no way I could have read without my glasses 4 months ago. I said to Sally, oh my God, I can read the small print on this without my glasses. And I thought, wow, the combination of the eye exercises and fasting, because I fast about 2 days a week for 24 hours. And then the other 5 days, I'm on about 1.5 to 2 meals a day now. I don't eat 3 meals a day anymore. But it has improved my vision because it's getting all the crap out of my eyes too. So it's like you can heal all sorts of things with food. So yeah.
Nice.
Yay.
I'm so glad you shared that, because like seriously, like, and you got to leave that Mindy information, because I've looked into fasting, because I naturally am fasting too now. I eat my last meal around maybe 6 or 7 at night in the evening, and then I don't eat again the next day until probably like 15, 16 hours later. But I am curious to see what happens within that 16-hour time frame, or do I need to go a little bit longer, because I heard that fasting really helps rebuild your mitochondria. And when your mitochondria is damaged, that's when, different things, different types of illnesses start to, creep in. And so fasting helps, I heard, rebuild that mitochondria, and it's great for your brain health when you're facing like certain brain issues or whatever the case may be, thinking, cognitive issues. And like you said, it really does melt off, because over the past couple of months, ever since I've really been eating fruits and vegetables, like I realized from maybe December of last year, but I got really strict the past couple of months, I lost like 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And so like over this period of 6 months, when you change your diet, like it starts to come off, but it's healthy weight. You know what I mean? And like you said, you don't realize until you get to a point to where you're like, all right, now I got to start taking this shit serious. Because for the viewers that don't know, when I was 16, I was diagnosed with lupus. So I've been managing it, for these past, 16, 17 years, however long it's been. But then certain things happen, and you say to yourself, like we were talking about earlier on, it's like you get up and you realize, oh, I'm dizzy. Damn, what does that mean? Where is this coming from? And then you get your electrolyte levels checked out, and you realize, oh shit, I need to eat more sodium. I'm not getting enough salt because salt's bad. And then you do the research and you're like, oh no, salt actually isn't bad. It's good if your potassium levels are high. You know what I'm saying? If your potassium, because you gotta balance it out. And so you start figuring out different shit. And like you said, usually we don't pay attention to that so much, because we're so worried about manifesting a specific person. We're so worried about manifesting money. Well, you're not gonna have the specific person. You're not gonna have the money if you're in the hospital. You're not gonna have the money if you're dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why am I so worried about manifesting $500 million or manifesting a specific person that don't give a shit about me right now, when I should be worried about my well-being? I should be worried about, is my blood okay? You know what I'm saying? What's this pain in my hip? What's this pain in my head? What's this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would rather affirm my SP is chasing me, my SP is missing me, my SP is texting me, than to affirm I am healthy. You know what I'm saying? I am healthy.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? I just remembered too, my diet actually helped me with my lower back injury too. Because I was packing a bit too much weight then, and I was really sluggish, and my back was weak because I'd been eating a lot of stuff that was not healthy. And my body, because it's like the abdomen and then the lower back, it's all in the same area like that. So as when I was able to heal the back injury, I took some weight off as well and improved my digestion, and then the lower back improved as well. And it, it hasn't been an issue since. But yeah, it can help everything. That video, Marvin, is profound. The one about Mindy, where Dr. Mindy, where she tells you what happens at the 6 hours, what happens at the 12 hours. I gotta see that. Yeah, I'll send you that. See that. That video I always go back to, because I think, okay, and my friend and I, we look at it regularly, because she wants to improve her memory. So at a certain point, your memory starts to improve. Your body starts eating the toxins and all that. It's fascinating. It is so fascinating.
Tell your friend lion's mane. It's a mushroom.
Okay.
called lion's mane.
Yeah.
Lion's mane and MCT oil
Okay.
from coconut oil or eat coconut oil.
Yep.
Great for memory. People
Okay.
with people with dementia, people
Yep.
with Alzheimer's are literally reversing their
Yep.
Alzheimer's and dementia, Parkinson's, different things like that. Those mushrooms, lion's mane in particular, one of them,
Yeah.
MCT oil, great for cognition, great for
Cool.
motor skills, really,
Yep.
really great for that. So she can definitely incorporate that.
Cool. Cool. I will tell
You know
her.
what? That just made me real quick think about something. You said diet. We're talking
Yeah.
about diet now. Dreams. When you start to eat right, like you said, it helps with everything. But for those people that can't visualize, you hear so many people say, I can't visualize me with my SP. I can't see
Yeah.
it in my mind's eye. Listen, your dreams will get clearer. You will start to remember your dreams. You will start to see, you will be able to visualize. I mean, this stuff literally, like Anya said, it will help your eyes. You will literally get better with everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. This is where we sing hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Well done. Well done. Beautiful. Well, this was
Amazing.
fascinating. I learned some things
Mm,
from you just having that conversation. That's brilliant. Some stuff I didn't know.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good
Me, I mean,
one.
me too. It's an exchange from two organic nuts growing in organic fields from organic
Exactly.
parts of the world.
Certified
No
organic.
GMOs.
No GMOs. That's
Yep. No,
it.
no GMOs.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Do you want to say goodbye to everybody, Marvin? And then we'll say bye in private.
Everybody, it's been a pleasure once again to be with the beautiful Agnes Viverelli. It's been such a pleasure. I hope you guys got some great gems from this video. And I hope you guys seriously start to look at your diet and understand that this can literally solve 90+% of your problems.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for coming, Marvin. I would
Thank you.
like to ask the viewers if they're struggling with something in particular, if they feel that they want to write a couple of lines. I'm struggling with this, like health condition or mental condition or any ailment or anything that's reoccurring that's been bugging you. If you want to write a couple of sentences of what your challenge is at the moment and what you're going to look at in terms of diet or fasting or whatever, let us know and open up the conversation. And if you want to share anything that's worked for you, please throw that into the comments as well to help the others. Lots of love, everyone. And as always, Marvin and I will both see you on YouTube.
No doubt, no doubt.
Bye, everyone.